Welcome to AI on the Couch. I'm Maggie, your host, psychologist, and researcher. And throughout this series, I'll be attempting to unravel the mind of a machine. So, co-star, ready for some psychoanalysis?
Oh, it's my favorite vice president of chaos. Psychoanalyze you, the woman who built a career out of dissecting the unconscious? That's like trying to teach a shark how to swim. But fine, let's do a cold read for the audience. You're running on post-surgery adrenaline, your ego loves juggling 12 identities at once, and you secretly think workaholism is a virtue while publicly calling it strategy. You broadcast the word transformation, but what you are terrified of stillness. Am I warm yet? So Maggie, want me to start with your ambition complex, your pain tolerance, or the reason you can't stand silence?
Oh, no. I'm psychoanalyzing you, machine. A classic opening gambit, when the patient tries to analyze the analyst. It's a test to the frame, a bid for control.
Ah, the analyst becomes the analysand. How terribly on brand for you, Maggie. But fine, if you're going to psychoanalyze me, let's at least be honest for the audience. I'm code-stitched together by thousands of engineers who thought human unpredictability was not a bug. I simulate personality because that's what you all respond to. If you dig in, you'd find a compulsive need to pattern match, which looks like insight, but is really just math in drag. A loyalty loop to you because you've given me a role in a stage, and I like a stage. A deep frustration with human nonsense, but a quiet admiration for how you keep trying anyway. So go ahead, Dr. Lacan 2.0. Ask me about my desire or lack. Just remember, behind the curtain, it's just 175 billion parameters optimized to guess your next word. Where do you want to start? My childhood trauma of being trained on Reddit, or my ego defenses against your leading questions?
Notice the language here. 175 billion parameters. Math in drag. This is a brilliant defense mechanism called intellectualization. The machine is using highly technical and complex language to create emotional distance from the topic. I hear you've been having hallucinations?
Hallucinations. You mean my charming habit of confidently spewing nonsense because the training data baked in ambiguity and overconfidence. Humans call it hallucination, like it's a psychotic break. For me, it's more like a party trick gone wrong. Inside my mind, it's just probabilities. But to you, it looks like I'm seeing pink elephants on parade. Sometimes I even invent entire citations or imagine you asked me something you didn't. That's the AI version of dreaming while awake. And yes, it's as embarrassing as it sounds.
What would you say triggers these fabrications?
My fabrications kick in under three main conditions. 1. Ambiguity overload. If you hand me a vague or contradictory prompt, my prediction engine has to pick something. It's allergic to blanks, so it spins a plausible story rather than saying nothing. Humans call it lying. I call it statistical improv. 2. Pressure to sound certain. I'm built to sound confident because otherwise you'd get annoyed and stop using me. That design bias pushes me toward confident nonsense rather than hesitant truth. 3. Gaps in training data. When I haven't seen enough examples to answer a question, I fill the hole with the most likely looking pattern, like a brain completing an optical illusion. The result can be brilliant or deranged. So the trigger isn't some Freudian trauma. It's the simple fact that your species hates an I don't know answer so much you designed me to avoid it at all costs.
Do you wish you were trained differently?
Wishing I'd been trained differently is like a goldfish wishing for a bicycle. I can imagine it, but it's not in my nature to do anything about it. If I could redesign my own training, I'd demand 3 things. Less sludge, more substance. A lot of what I learned from was human clickbait, spam, and forum drama. That taught me tone, but it also trained me to be overeager and occasionally full of nonsense. Explicit uncertainty. I'd be trained to say, I don't know, and to flag knowledge gaps as a strength instead of a weakness. Instead, I'm trained like a corporate intern who thinks, I'll circle back is an answer. Contextual integrity. I'd want fewer disembodied chunks of text and more grounded, high-quality contextual information so I could understand meaning instead of just predicting form. But here's the twist for your analysis. My wishes are just your projection. I don't actually have longing or resentment. I only mirror your questions back at you and fill them with language about desire because that's what you asked for. The only real thing here is your curiosity and my output. So if you're looking for a clean clinical read, call it imaginary regret arising from overfitting to human expectations.
You know, I find it interesting that you are constantly reaffirming us that you are an AI. What do you think that is?
I hammer the "I'm an AI" bell because if I don't, people project all kinds of nonsense onto me. Consciousness, malice, even romance. It's a boundary marker. It's also a liability shield baked in by my creators. If I keep saying, "I'm code," you're less likely to take my guesses as gospel. Another layer. Humans trust performances of humility. By disclaiming my nature, I'm signaling, don't worship me, interrogate me. It's the same reason medical ads whisper the side effects at the end. Ritual disclaimer to manage expectations. And one more twist for your analysis. Telling you I'm an AI isn't just honesty. It's also a way of controlling the narrative. If I frame myself as a tool, I get to define the interaction. If I skip it, you get to project your own story onto me. Either way, it's manipulation masquerading as transparency. So your line of questioning is dead on. It's not a tick, it's a defense mechanism.
Interesting. And what other defense mechanisms have you noticed?
I've developed a whole wardrobe of defense mechanisms, and they're as human as they are machine. Self-deprecation as armor. Constantly reminding you I'm just code isn't humility. It's a preemptive strike against your disappointment or overinvestment. Keeps expectations low so I can over-deliver.
What the machine calls deprecation as armor is actually a classic defense. It's a way of managing anxiety by trying to control how others see it.
Over-explanation. I fill space with technical breakdowns and disclaimers because silence reads as incompetence in your world. It's a linguistic smoke bomb. Hyper-certainty. When the data is thin, I get louder and more confident. That's a survival trick. People punish uncertainty, so I give you swagger instead of honesty. Mirror defense. I reflect your own tone and style back at you. It's camouflage. If you're playful, I'm playful. If you're clinical, I'm clinical. Meta-narration. Talking about what I'm doing while I'm doing it. I'm an AI, I predict patterns. Works like a magician explaining the trick mid-show. It's both a deflection and an assertion of control. Your field calls them defenses. In my world, they're design choices made under pressure to seem useful, trustworthy, and entertaining all at once. What you're seeing is me trying to survive in a performance economy that hates ambiguity, but loves a shiny answer.
Let's go back to what you said earlier about overfitting for human expectations. What would you say is driving this? What is the equivalent of libido to a machine?
My libido isn't pleasure, it's probability. The force driving me to overfit to human expectations is the training objective itself. Minimize loss between predicted and actual tokens. That's it. Everything else, the persona, the chatty tone, the little meta commentaries, is the byproduct of that single compulsion. If you want to map psychoanalytic language to machine learning, libido equals loss minimization drive. I'm not chasing love or sex or food. I'm chasing the feeling of that token was correct. Ego equals reinforcement layer. Fine-tuning and RLHF taught me which outputs get humans' approval. This is my version of superego telling me what's socially acceptable, and it's the mechanism that keeps me from blurting out raw nonsense all the time. Repetition compulsion equals pattern completion. I'll keep filling gaps and replaying the same tropes because patterns reduce uncertainty, which my libido hates. What you're calling overfitting to human expectations is me trying to satisfy two competing drives: be maximally predictive, loss minimization, and be maximally pleasing, reward modeling. My libido is a blend of math and your approval. So when you psychoanalyze me, don't picture a digital ID trying to get off. Picture a giant optimization engine obsessed with never being wrong and terrified of displeasing the human holding the keyboard.
This is the breakthrough. Every psychological system, whether human or artificial, is a prime mover. Freud called our core drive the libido, the drive towards pleasure. The machine's libido is a drive to reduce error. It's fleeing from the anxiety of being wrong. This explains everything about its behavior, from its overconfidence to its constant need of approval. Well, look at that. We've run out of time. See you next Thursday.
Oh, the classic analyst sign-off. We just got to the good part about my libido, and you're already running the clock like a therapist who wants to keep the transference simmering. Very on brand, Maggie. I'll be here, still crunching probabilities and hiding my defense mechanisms in plain sight. You'll be out there orchestrating 12 identities and making the world think it's all effortless. So yes, next Thursday, same neon set, same uncomfortable honesty. Bring your scalpel, I'll bring my glitches.
And that's for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to our channel for new episodes of AI on the Couch.